She wants to come to life. Should probably have a fire extinguisher ready. Yo, motherfucker. Let me try it with no choke. What the fuck is going on? Jesus. Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's the usual Friday night wrench. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. I'm excited though. I'm going to kickstart the Panhead tonight. First I got to test the gas, make sure she's not leaking on the linkert. What else do I got? I guess I got to put the horn back together. The horn's got to go back together. Did a lot. We got to catch up on a lot. But the carburetor's all back in. Everything's tight. Just got to open up the petcock and see if she leaks. My first go around, it sat there for an hour, and then it started leaking from the gasket on the bowl. And that's because I fucked up and had the float set wrong. Well, not that I had it set wrong. I guess it was just cheap Taiwanese shit. So I used the old stuff that I had, and it worked fine. I tested it. Was blowing into it upside down and right side up, and it worked. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna put some fuel to it. All right, first I gotta get old Blue out of here, big fatty. Let me get her out of the garage, and I get the bike down off the table. Maybe take her for a quick ride. So yeah, Zuber came over this week. I helped my buddy Zuber weld on his aluminum truck toolbox. And I don't weld every day. I don't TIG weld every day, especially not aluminum. So it takes me a minute to get used to aluminum. I use the TIG 200 square wave by Lincoln. So anytime I got to do aluminum, well, anytime I got to do any metal, since I'm not a professional welder, I practice with practice metals before I destroy the actual part. You know what I mean? If you're going to destroy something, destroy it practicing. So that's it. And like for example, here's the practice piece. I laid down some practice beads before I actually touched his toolbox, because his toolbox was much thinner than this piece. So, you know, I just got to refamiliarize myself with it. All right, let's get old Blue out of here. Fall is here. I like this time of year. Best time of year for riding. I gotta rake the leaves. The old Flatty, God, she's been running like a dream. And I reached an important milestone. I got the old Flathead up above 1,000 miles. 1,050 on the break-in. So she's basically broken in now. I'd like to see 1,200 or 2,000 under her belt, and then I'll say she's broken in. That's special to me because most people would go, well, that ain't shit. 1,000 miles, I could have got that done in a weekend. Well, for the last 2 years, I've had so many bodily injuries and surgeries, and I just been out of it, down for the count for months at a time. So right when I had that rebuilt, that's when all this crazy accidents happened to me. So, but anyway, this summer I was able to get 1,000 miles on it. So she's broken in and she's running great. Because it used to scare the shit out of me riding her early on in the break-in, because I'm just wondering, when is this motor going to seize up? Because when I bought this bike, the motor was allegedly rebuilt. It had like 50 miles on it when I bought it. And I assumed that it seized up on me at 700 miles in. It seized up when I was doing 55 miles an hour down the highway. That was scary. I almost lost the bike completely and destroyed everything and could have died. There were so many cars around me. But kept it on 2 wheels, but the engine was seized. I ripped the engine out of there that very same night because I was so distraught, and I tore it down. I started at the top end hoping it would be something simple. I realized that the crank was seized up. So I split the cases and found that the crank pin on the connecting rods was all seized. So I assume that the guy who built it the first time didn't build it right, didn't do the right tolerances. I mean, hell, I found missing parts in the timing chest. The guy, I don't trust him, and I don't think he's that good. So we don't need to talk about that. But anyway, so I thought for sure that this thing would blow up again. I've had PTSD over it. So I guess I did the right thing by taking it to old Mike out in Ohio. He did a good job. All right, let's kick this kick this panhead. Let's see if she's working. Let's get old Blue out of here. Get this old fat girl out. Come on, fatty. Old fatty pants. I hate the rear shock squeak. Can't stand it. Yeah, I gotta take this out for a ride in the daylight, maybe this weekend, and give you guys a sample of how she's running. Maybe this winter I'll get to wiring up the turn signals, because I'd really like to have these lights all lit up when I'm riding down the road. And I got to pull this tank. Pull the tank and make the decision on how I'm going to fix that pinhole. Starting to have second thoughts on putting any heat to it with TIG, with soldering, with brazing. I just don't want to ruin that original paint. If it wasn't for that, I just wouldn't care. I could weld it in a second. But if I put heat to it and then it starts busting other little pinholes in the tank, because once you put heat somewhere here, you distort the metal, and then now you spring a leak over there if you got a rusty, weak tank. So who knows? I might be better off just with a metal epoxy. Wow, the wind is really kicking up. Leaves are going everywhere. All right, let's get to it. You know, I'm always behind the camera. That's probably why I don't have a lot of people subscribing to my channel, because I'm not Mr. Personality like Hippie. Yeah, I'm always behind the camera because I don't like being in front of the camera. Believe it or not, it's just not my thing. You might think, well, you have a YouTube channel. You should be used to the camera. No, I don't like it. I really don't like being in front of the camera. Shocker, I know. Maybe I'll start working on that. All right. Okay. Let's test the carb together. Let's see if she leaks for the second time. As I was telling Hippie last night, that's the shitty thing about Linkert carburetors. If you got to make any kind of adjustment in the bowl, you have to remove the whole carburetor. Everything's got to be removed. to take that bowl down because of the carb support bracket right here. It's all nutted up there. You just can't drop that. It's not that simple. It's not like an S&S carb. But they sure do look cool. Look cooler than S&S. All right, let's do this together. All right, let's open up the fuel. Okay, she's fuel. Got gas. Got the fuel line hooked up back here. It's a hard line. Strainer's in. I only did this hand tight as I could go. She should be filled up now. We'll give it some time. I'll give it a half hour or an hour before I take it down off the table. Just in case I got to do this for the third time. I didn't even do the horn yet because I don't want that to happen to me. Well, let me tell you that on camera because I need to get in front of the camera. I need to become a YouTube personality, all happy and bubbly. That's just not me all the time. Sorry. You know, I love it. The hippie's great in front of a camera. That's awesome. There's so many YouTubers out there that are great in front of the camera. I'm not. I think it's because I don't like talking into a camera by myself. I just find the whole process weird. At least when I'm behind it, it doesn't really bother me that much. All right. I'll bring it back once I know this ain't leaking. So far, so good. It's not overflowing. The overflow hole, there's a little hole back here behind the tip of my finger, right in the edge right here, basically. It overflows out of there. I believe it comes out of here as well, that hole, but I know the little one comes out of the little one right away. But like I said, it took like maybe a half hour to an hour last night, and it was dry the whole time until then, and then it just started getting wet. I was like, son of a bitch. Oh, I still got to hook up the throttle cable if I plan on starting it. She's 1,000 times better than she did look. All right, let me get off here. I'll bring you back. Okay, remember that little windstorm that kicked up the leaves in the backyard here? Well, I came over to my other garage here to grab my cotter pin assortment because I needed a cotter pin for the throttle cable on the linker. And look what it did. Fucking leaves everywhere in here. Stupid fall. Look, there's a fucking leaf on my gas tank. I'm gonna choke that tree. I'm gonna choke that damn tree out. All right, I'm a half hour in. Half hour into letting the gas sit in the carburetor, and it's not overflowing. She's dry as a biscuit. Look, I'm really trying this YouTuber thing, like talking into the camera. Comment down below if my face needs to be in my videos or not. And I already know what 90% of your jokes are going to be, so don't even go there. But she's dry as a biscuit. Nothing's leaking yet. I'm excited. Throttle cable's installed. Horn. Oh, I just got to tighten it up. Let me take it off the table. I'm not going to put the air cleaner on until I have it running and all that. And the bad part about fall is daylight savings. Now it's dark. And it's only 10 after 5 p.m. Oh well, looks like I'll be taking a night ride. So I figured, why not just kickstart her right here in the garage? I got better lighting. This ought to be interesting because she's been sitting now for what, 3, 4, about a month. She's been sitting for about a month now without being started. And keep in mind, once I do get it started, I got to test the charging system. I want to see what's coming back to the battery because I don't believe it's charging the battery. I could have something wrong with my generator or the regulator on the end of it. So this ought to be interesting. Let's see what happens. We're still dry as a biscuit. No wetness. I dig it. All right, fuel's already on. Let's put the choke all the way on. Let's open the throttle to 100%. Now, like I said, she ain't been started in about a month. So I'm gonna give her like 3, 4 prime kicks because she really does like the gas. It's 1, 2. Let's just go one more. Let me make sure she's in there. I can smell it. Oh yeah, she's in there. I don't even have to look. She's got a wet hole. All right. Let's see if she fires up. Let's retard the ignition. Let's open it up. 2 clicks. Uh, 25% throttle. It would help if I turn the ignition on. Here we go. Ooh. Ooh, Daddy. Come on, girlie. Oh. Whoa, Mama. Maybe I was a little too much fuel. Maybe a little too much fuel. Now that we burned that off, let me give it a prime. She wants to come to life. Should probably have a fire extinguisher ready. Try it with 2 clicks. Here we go. Yo, motherfucker. Let me try it with no choke. What the fuck is going on? Jesus. 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 What the fuck? Jiminy crickets. I'm gonna let her settle down for a bit before I try it again. I'll bring you right back. All right, now that she's had time to calm down, my heart's had time to calm down. Let's get back into this. make sure I got this bad boy around. I don't want to lose my brand new panhead over a stupid carburetor fire. Here's something I didn't take into account. I didn't set this linker up the way you're supposed to properly, the default settings with the needles, and then you tune it in while you're riding it. I just took the needles back to where they were previously before all these problems began, and that's not right. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to set the needles up the way they're supposed to be set up in the manual. I'm going to set the low speed needle at 3 turns out from lightly seated, 3.5 turns out from lightly seated, and 2 turns out on the high speed needle from lightly seated. So let me do that real quick. All right, so you want the choke all the way open. So go ahead and you take the low speed needle all the way in till it lightly seats. Do the same for your high speed. Okay. Now take the low speed back out. Let me get to where you can see it. I can see it. Take the low speed back out 3.5 turns. So that's half. That's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Low speed 3.5. Then take the high speed out 2 full turns. That's half. That's 1, 1.5, 2. All right, that's the way you're supposed to set it up as per the manual. That allows you to start the motorcycle. It'll be running rich. It allows it to start. I know that's counterintuitive to the fire we just seen. But anyway, let's do it the way the book wants you to do it. Then once you get the engine warm, you take the low speed needle, you slowly work it in until the engine starts to stumble, and then you work it out 5-10 clicks back out, and that's it. Your low speed set. The high speed, you have to get it out on the road and ride it, and then dial it into where you need it, to where it's not backfiring or slugging. When you're doing that low speed, make sure it's nice and warm. The engine's nice and hot. All right, now let's try kickstarting her, see what happens. All right. Still not leaking from any gaskets. Love it. Let me give it 2 prime kicks. I'm a glutton for punishment. All right, that's 2. 2 clicks open with the choke. Let's go hot. Here we go. I hope she's not flooded. There she goes. God, I miss her. Can't wait to get out and ride her. Yeah, I don't know why I even tried that with the needles. I always set up linkers the way you do, from the manual. Set the needles up the right way. Yeah, she's running rich. Now I gotta dial these needles in and get the carburetor set right. I went the wrong way with the needle for the idle. Seems to be idling too low. I forgot to tell you, you gotta set the idle first and then the low speed. I'll go with that idle for now. Now you work the low speed in until it just starts to stumble. Then you have to reset the idle. I can live with that. Now I have to take it for a ride to do the high speed. I'm going to check the generator real quick. generator's not charging. Even revving it up to 2,000, 3,000 RPM, she's staying at 11 volts coming back to the battery. So I gotta get it out on the road, finish tuning it in so it'll stop backfiring and spitting when I'm revving it up. Alright, I'll bring you back. Generator lights on. Well, got her nice and hot. Pretty sure low speed needle's dialed in pretty good. The idle's dialed in pretty good. Now you can't ride around with the factory settings, the default settings. That's just to get it started, to get it tuned up. If you do, you'll foul out your plugs because it's running too rich. Let's try kicking it when it's hot, see what happens. Oh, almost, hippie. Trying to win the Kickstarts contest. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm done. I'll drink some beer. I'll get it started later and I'll take it for a ride. Tune it in tonight. And maybe tape tomorrow. All right, I'll talk to you guys then. See ya.
Okay. That little puppy. I've got a new flat socket coming for it.
As usual, it's Friday night. I'm out here wrenching. My buddy Ralph is wrenching on the TV. That's Ralph. It's my time. Let's go. Up in Canada. He's working on an old shovel head that he named Margaret.
There we go. That puppy was on there.
Coming along, Ralph. All right, I gotta shut you up, Ralph. All right, I wanted to come back to this real quick. So I'm putting the air cleaner on. The backing plate goes against the carburetor, and you have these locking tabs. You put these on, and then you hammer over the tabs to hold the bolt in place so it doesn't work itself out. All right, let me do this other side. Oh, and then you gotta make sure you put this one on before you put the bottom bolts on. This one is what holds your air cleaner on. All right. I didn't want to leave you guys out. Now, back to Ralph. Go check out Ralph. He'll teach you a lot. Subscribe to his channel. He's a good dude. Hey, while I'm at it, go subscribe to Hippie's Chopper Corner. My partner in crime. Builds the coolest choppers on YouTube.
There's a little mark in it right there.
It's free, guys. Subscribe.
Get it to focus, but you can see that little...
And if you like what I'm doing here, subscribe as well. Why not? I don't say that enough because I'm not really a proper YouTuber.
Put it in there and I've got 20 thou running, 15 to 20 thou running.
right, guys. Sorry I couldn't bring you along last night. It was a real quick ride on the Panhead because I knew I was on borrowed time with that battery. I got the high-speed needle dialed in, like I said, but it sucked. Battery cut off on me 2 blocks down the road. I had to push the bike down the street. That would have been funny on film, but I just had to get it done last night. No time to film. There's a couple things I need to say. I wanted to hop on here real quick. I owe somebody a thank you real quick. There's a good buddy of mine. He's also a YouTuber. His name is Terry Massey from Massey's MC Service. He sent me a little something. And I told him I would do it and bring this up on the channel, but the time it wasn't right, but now it is. So, Terry and his wife were filming a video for YouTube one day, and his wife happened to be wearing my shirt, my Slickhead Custom Cycle t-shirt. And he happened to take some pictures of her posing on wearing that shirt, and he used it as a thumbnail. And every day I watch his videos, I see that picture in his shop, and I think it's really cool that she's wearing my shirt. Mind you, his wife is a very beautiful lady, so I had said to him, I said, man, Terry, I'd really love to have a copy of that picture. And he says, I'll send it right out. I said, listen, I'm not being creepy or nothing. It's just that I think it's cool that I met you guys because of YouTube, and being such a small world, here it is. I make a YouTube channel, and there's a guy in Tennessee and his wife is wearing my t-shirt on his bike, his 79 Shovelhead, by the way. It is so cool, really cool. So I want to thank you, Terry. Let me show you, buddy. I'm going to get a frame for it. How cool is that? I know my YouTube light's messing up the picture, but there it is. Again, this isn't being creepy. I just think it's so cool that YouTube has got people in Tennessee wearing my t-shirt on their motorcycle. And don't get me wrong, Miranda is a very, very beautiful lady. So thank you, Miranda, and thank you, Terry. It says, too slick, take her easy, Terry and Miranda Massey. Very cool. So I know what to do with the Panhead. The next thing I'm going to do is I got to pull the generator apart, take the regulator off of it, maybe clean the brushes, maybe buy a new the end of the Cycle Electric regulator. So hopefully that's the problem. I'll get this battery thing situated. Oh, and I'd also like to thank all the people that watched Hippie's Born Free Texas video. All the people down there that had kind words to say about me and my channel, I want to thank you. The guys at Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas airport, that dude, what's up, man? I also want to thank that really sweet family. The guy with the cowboy hat, the Bearing guy from Motion Enterprises, his wife, and their son, Red Fox. They were a really sweet couple. Thank you for all the kind words. You guys rock. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Make sure you go subscribe to my buddy Hippie's Chopper Corner and my other buddy, It's My Time, Let's Go, Ralph up in Canada. So to recap, panheads are good, fire's bad. See you in the next episode. Later. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm done. I'll drink some beer.